Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. Welcome to my channel and welcome back if you are returning. Today is our first in the series that I am calling Daily Color Big. It is called Big because I am actually coloring my first page ever in a full-size coloring book. Now I have colored a lot, I just don't ever color in coloring books. So my Daily Color series started with small victories. I'm doing very well in that. I have gained a lot of confidence. So I finally ran some polls and you guys decided that my first full-size coloring book experience should be in romantic country. This is the first of the series of romantic countries, of which I think there are 3 of them. So this is the first one. The page you guys chose out of the 3 that I liked and gave you guys to choose from is the library page. I call it the library with the fireplace and the 2 cats. So I am already set to begin coloring in this bottom left corner. I have some pencils in my hand. You guys also chose the Arrtx colored pencils. So when I show you these, the colors on the barrels are not very accurate, so they might look a little funny, but according to my light to dark combo that I came up with, which I will share with you, I have a few different wood tones that I have picked with some numbers. I've picked green for the chair. We might get to that chair today. I've got a gold olive brown combo. I have a true brown combo. Then I have an orange brown, and red brown is what I'm going to do today on the chair legs and the little table next to the chair. I will make them matching, and I have from dark to light to dark, because I like to do light to dark. I added one more. It's called Peach as my lightest tone, and I believe it's 3010. I will have all of the color numbers up on the description. And if you are interested in coloring along with me, there's color comparison charts. I don't know that Arrtx is on this particular one, but the one that I like the best, doesn't cost you anything, is My Colorful Country Life. And so there's also another gal who has been doing a lot of comparison charts. You could check with her on her coffee shop and see if she has done a comparison from Arrtx. I don't even know if she has Arrtx, but her name is Rachel Henderson. And so that gives you a couple of places to go for comparisons to the sets that you might own and want to color along with. I don't have like a time frame. I color for 45 minutes or so. Since this is the first time of coloring, I might go a little bit longer. We shall see. So again, starting with the light, 3010, that is the color Peach. Then we have 6078, which is dark salmon. These are very difficult to read. This is why I'm cheating and using my little colored guide with the numbers. 6087 is Venetian red, and a very close match to this color, almost identical. I've even colored it right here, is the color in this set called Terracotta. I don't have the number Terracotta. Yes, it is. Oh, Terracotta, which is an alternative, is 6090. Almost identical. Okay, then we have Mars Brown, 6095, and then a dark burnt umber, which I have actually used for a few of these, 2 of them, the orange brown and this red brown. I am using 6099 burnt umber as my darkest. So let's just see how this goes. I will not be able to rotate my book around like I do with the Small Victories book, so we will just see how we go. I am going to start with the shadowed bits off in the back of the chair. I did do a little mock-up on my copy paper, and of course this is a very smooth cardstock. So it's going to color a little differently. And this is I have not even tried to color, even on a practice page in the back. So I felt that this paper was very similar to the Small Victories smooth paper. So we'll just see how we get along. A little bit about Romantic Country. It is an artist, Eriy is the name. And I can see here already this color is not as dark. I do have another very dark brown that I might grab, oh, that's gray, to give us, let's see, I'm grabbing it now. This one is dark umber instead of burnt umber. So let me just, since we are starting out here, it is possible that I will use this dark umber. It appears as though this dark umber is the same color as the ink. And as I was saying, the artist's name, Eriy, she colors, I believe, with ink and a toothpick. So you will see that the drawing, she does her lines, they like overlap. They sometimes get a little bit light, like right here in the front of this rocking leg of the rocking chair. So it's a very whimsical style of coloring that she does. Again, just to reiterate, I have introduced dark umber. Dark umber is 7180 because I feel on this smooth paper that burnt umber is not quite dark enough for the shadowed areas. So this is what you're seeing, and it does appear that this dark umber is very close to the color of the ink. And I am doing this dark color in all of the areas where there would be very, just a very dark without a bright color tone to it. So, and let's make sure you can still see. You can see everything. I am doing medium pressure. I'm doing some lines and ovals on the lengths of the furniture. And you'll see in some other places I will be doing less ovals or scrumbling, whatever you want to call it, and more line work because of the long straight length appearance that I want to give the object. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so that was the dark umber. It is going for now back on my Lazy Susan, and then I am going to bring back in the burnt umber, teeny tiny number. I'm going to refer to my cheat sheet, 6099. Yep, 6099. I can almost read that. Now with this color, it has a little bit of that red tone. You will see that my light source, I do have this little candle. We will see if I take an eraser right here and then give it a little bit of a glow. I could give this a little bit of glow right here on the arm of the rocking chair. So now I'm still using this dark color. I am just using a very light pressure version of it, because I will probably come along and add some of this candlelight, which I have not even figured out what that color is. All right, you guys can still see what's going on. So the two elements that I have figured out thus far, so this is like a shiny, glossy wood table with a red tone to it. And I have figured out the grays for what the fireplace is actually a fireplace insert, so it is going to be shades of gray. And then I've picked out the green for the chair. Still keeping very light here because I will have the glow. I may come back along this vertical and put some dark umber in right at the very, very back. This right here that I'm putting some of the red, I also will probably come back with the dark umber. This is on the shadow side. It also might get a little bit of the dark umber, and I am adding a little bit of red to that dark umber because I will have other wood tones that don't have the red. I have my brown tones, so I do need to add a little bit of that red, like so. I really like that the inked lines are browns and not black. That pleases me greatly. You'll see me lightening up as we get toward the front where we have a bit of fire light. Technically on both of these arms there's only the candlelight and maybe a little residual candlelight on this arm. I am trying to envision this wood as carved wood. So I am curling my strokes to follow along the shape that I think the wood would actually be. I want to grab looking for the dark, the burnt umber again. So I have in my right hand 5 pencils, the 6th pencil being the dark umber. I am not keeping in my hand. I am envisioning that I will be using it and then we'll be done with all of the darks. So I'm hoping I don't have to hold it in my hand. I have no idea how long this one page will take if I am coloring the 45 minutes a day. If you haven't colored with me before, I will forewarn you, I am a slow colorist. And I kind of refuse to go fast because I enjoy coloring slow. All right, so in these dark areas, I did glaze, what I call it, a second color, and that was the redder tone that is 6099. This is 7180, so I was going for a bit of the red undertone, and then now I'm going in with heavy pressure to fill in the tooth. And I've got this glow that I will be working out the details of. I see some erasing happening right here. This is all dark. All right, so I think I'm ready to put down 7180. Putting that down, going back to my burnt umber, which is the 6099. So this is that reddish brown. Now I'm going to come in and do a little bit of soft for the transition to the lighter color. Since this is wood, I'm envisioning it might be somewhat grainy, so I am not doing ovals. Let's see, my experience with these pencils. I think that these are, I like them, and this is specific to this paper, because I find with the different papers, pencils behave differently. And these are a nice, not too soft, not too hard. They hold a point well. Not too noisy. I don't hear much. I know there are some people who just do not like these pencils. They'll say that there's quality issues and they had too many issues and they had to send them back. So I think that is interesting because that has not been my experience. Probably the most frustrating thing for me has been the barrels. The barrels do not match the colors, and I just have to go. I have to keep a swatch page right there next to me so that I am not even tempted to use the barrel, because the barrel is just not representative. All right, I am finally going to the next lighter color. This is called Mars Brown, and it is a kind of a middle brown with a tinge of red. Look at how pink. It looks like a dark mauve tone as far as the barrel goes, but it is not that mauve-y. It is more, I don't know, milk chocolate brown maybe? Maybe with a hint, a little bit, or bit of a hint of more red. So, still leaving the top. Now, here we've got two light sources. We've got a shadow being cast from this light. I am now going to switch to an even lighter color. Venetian red is another shade lighter of that same red. So now we are entering the firelight light source. The firelight is over here where my pencil is pointing. And let's do a really soft application of this. Now I have to go back to the darker, which is the Mars Brown 6095. All right, so now I am going to fill in the tooth for the back half of this vertical arm. Stretch of wood. I am also going to fill in the tooth for the legs, I don't know, the feet, the rocking feet. We've got to get a little bit lighter, but the front is going to have a little bit of that glow. And I do have this very light peach. All right, I do have one before the peach, and this is the dark salmon. So the dark salmon, I should be able to come in here and get some burnishing done. Even lighter than the peach, I have sitting aside the camel. And it is just a warm ivory tone, maybe, that I will use to do some burnishing. That I would, at other times, I would use the white. So we're slowly creeping into our last bit of white. Okay, so I've got peach. We're doing a heavy burnish on the back side of this wood. And the underside of this wood, I have to have a little bit of the glow of the beautiful, rich, red toned wood. I even like right there is a little divot that is probably a scratch on the paper, and I like it because it actually makes it look like there's a flaw in the wood. Okay, lightest color, peach. Doing some burnishing. I'm going to say that underneath here, I'm going to pop back in to a darker color, maybe Mars. Let's see what we want to do here. This is the Mars brown. Okay, that works. This peach is being used as my burnish. Even burnishing back across any of this dark wood. Oh, I've shifted. You guys haven't seen all that. There we go. Just going along burnishing. I even have with me, if I do need to do any further smoothing out and I choose not to use a color, which I tend to like to use the lightest color, I have my Caran d'Ache blender here with me that I had and was using on the ivory black in the floral page that I had just finished yesterday. I still have a little bit more to do, but I showed you the colors for the last two pencil sets. Okay, let's see if you can see what I'm doing. There's only so much of this chair you can see at any given time. Let's see where we are. We're at the front. All right. All of the light areas. I believe I am ready to grab the greens for the chair color. A little bit of tooth left here to put in the glow of the candlelight. Okay, there you go. We've got our wood pieces done. I am going to set all of these down, rotating around to the greens. Let's see what we've got. I only have 3. I hope the darkest will be dark enough for us today. I can come back in with a gray if I need to, because I think this is the darkest green. Okay, the greens. There are 3 of them, light to dark. Here's my little cheat. Lightest is 5111, pea green, 5419, chromium oxide green, and dark green 5511. So let's move this down. I even might rotate it, and then I'll rotate my camera. All right, let's see how this goes. We've got the cute little kitty. So because of this smooth paper already, this green looks too light. So I might have to find a darker green. So that's the little kitty shadow. I am not using lines because this is a fabric. If I felt that it was going to be a textured fabric that had a direction to it, I might do, you know, vertical or horizontal. I might even do that on the quilt. So where the cat's shadow is, I might go ahead and come in. If I don't find a darker green, because I think this is the darkest, I have my grays for the fireplace insert. And I will just do a glaze of like the darkest gray. I am going in my little ovals. I am trying to rotate. My pencil has a tip that, see, you can see that I just rotated it to the sharpest part of the tip. This side here is also a very dark, and will need a glaze of dark gray as well. I am working on evening up this tip. I could have sharpened it to a very sharp point. All right, now we are coming out of the shadows and we have some light being cast. We have the candlelight here. So I'm going very soft with this green. And we have the fireplace light to the right. Right here we have the arm, which would be blocking the light. I am going to shift to the middle green, chromium oxide green. Ooh, I should have my sheet handy. What did I do with it? I believe it's 5419. Let's see if I can even see that. 5419. So tiny. I actually don't even mind with the little, if there's some inconsistency with my pressure, which then leaves a little bit of swirling here and there. I'm just gonna say that that is the fabric texture showing itself. up here is likely going to need to be a little bit of the darkest. I have not brought in the lightest green yet. Oop, I'm going to sharpen that. The lightest green is pea green, 5111. I might go ahead here. Again, I'm probably going to glaze with a little bit of the darkest gray. I have two gray tones, cool gray and warm gray. I believe I have three of each, a 20%, a 50%, and a 70%. Just working my way, rotating as I go. Switching back to the darkest green for right up at the top here, that there is no light. A little bit up at the top over here. Then we must grab the middle tone. So the darkest was 5511, and this is the 5419. Over on the far side, well, first before I go on that far side, let me blend this in with the lightest. And softening. And now I'm over to the right. This is a larger book, and you can see that there's some air underneath with some pages. So I am not sure the effect of that. I don't really have a lot of that happening with the Small Victories book. So when I process this today, I will learn all sorts of information about the differences between using the full-size book and using the small book. I'm still using the lightest color. Got some tooth to work through. All right, I am going to shift up a little bit there. I still have to do the bottom of the chair. So let's take the darkest. There is going to be a need for some dark here, and then we will have some shadow. This is all on the dark side. It will have some gray. I'm leaving some tooth to be able to put that gray in. We have a glow from the candle. So now I'm doing light. Gonna switch to the middle. 5419 chromium oxide green. I will not have any, I have a little bit of light here, but where that tail is on the side, it's in shadow. And then we're lightening up. Going back to the chromium oxide. This is the middle green. This is going to have a little bit of yellow, moving to the lightest green. And you know, I am not perfect at my light sources, but I think as long as you have some dark darks transitioning to light lights, and you kind of stick to your game plan here, it should be totally okay. All right, now the front here is going to be the lightest. This flat part is going to be darker than the front. I will probably just leave this. I might add a little bit of the middle tone, but I'm going to leave it pretty light. Going to the middle, which is that chromium oxide, 5419. Yes, 5419. And darkening this up. All right, for the moment, the chair is done. We are sitting at 44 minutes. This is a great stopping point. We will, unless I change my mind, we will pick right back up the next time we color. And we're gonna go, I've already got the colors mocked up for the fireplace. So unless I work on a different part that maybe I want to do before I do the fireplace, let me show you the fireplace. So this is where we're at. I might try to be brave and raise up my camera a little bit. I have to fix the focus. Oh, I can't even see it though. Okay. So we're not in focus. Okay, so that is the whole chair. And now we're moving over. I'm going to share with you what I worked on is all of this, and the fireplace framing is all done in the gray as in the long vertical pipe. That is what I've also figured out. And this is what we finished today. I am not sure. I am actually thinking of doing a bonus day tomorrow, which is Sunday. And maybe on Sunday I will do a little bit of the light, perhaps. And maybe the Afghan blanket throw. And then maybe I'll do the rug, which will coordinate with the chair, of course. So, we are finished. It's in the books. 172, the first episode of Daily Color Big is complete. Let me know your thoughts. Please do all the YouTube things like share, comment, and consider subscribing. I got a whole bunch of subscribers yesterday, which was lovely. You know, I hesitate to actually talk about like what my channel's goals are, but I guess it makes sense that if you're going to do any kind of channel, you know, the first goal in life for the channel is to get monetized. So I appreciate all of the subs from yesterday. Hopefully I don't offend anybody by sharing my goals. So today I have, boy, let's see if I can get it right, because yesterday I was totally wrong. 554, I believe, is what I had for subscribers right before I started filming today. So that was really fun, because yesterday when I finished filming, it was 546. So that's very exciting. And again, you will see me tomorrow for the weekly color. Well, we will review what I did this week for both the small victories as well as romantic country. And then we will make plans for next week. And I hope to see you all there.